Welcome to Beat the Number. This is the top sports betting picks and plays for the NBA Morning Edition. My name is Abby. Sunday, February 23rd. We're going to discuss a slate of games here for the NBA basketball show. And we're going to add in some player props. Now, some of these games start early in the afternoon. So we're going to get in some player props today. One of the rare times that we can do it on the early edition. First off, we're going to start off with New York and Boston. This is courtesy of oddslogic.com. All the odds, line moves, over-unders, injury report, it's all on oddslogic.com. So New York and Boston, it's -8. Boston, total 232. Right now, we are seeing it at 8.5. 231. Actually, open up at 231. Actually, 232. Excuse me. Now it's down to 231. That's what we're seeing it right now. 231.5. 231. So it's come down a bit. Let's look here. Look at the line movement here. Wait for that to pop up. Let's see. All right, so you see here, Boston's getting all the money. All the money's on the Celtics. Public's on Boston. It's 8.5. We've got the under. We got some under in this game. Under 232. Public all over the under. That's interesting. Yeah, they're still on the under. So we'll definitely look into this game some more. We're going to check the injury report for both teams and see if we can throw in there a player prop. Get a player prop in there for you on the morning edition for the NBA. First, we're going to start off with Boston. Boston Celtics. Xavier Tillman, he is out of the lineup today. Ruled out. On the Knicks side for the New York Knicks, we have Josh Hart. He is questionable. Mitchell Robinson's questionable as well for Sunday's game. All right, so now we're going to look into this game further. That's New York and Boston. Definitely going to look into this. Look at the head-to-head. And I'm going to give you my what I think is going to happen in this game. So head-to-head, New York and Boston. They've already played twice already, 2 times this year. October 22nd, that was in Boston. Boston -6. They covered and won 132-109, and it went over the total, 221. Second game in New York, Boston -3, favored in New York. Boston won 131-104. It went over 231. The third game is in Boston. This is game 3. So New York overall 7-3 last 10 games, 4-6 against the spread, 8-2 to the over. So the next 3-2 last 5 games. And the over-under, they are 4-1 to the over last 5 games. As for Boston, 8-2 last 10, 6-4 against the spread, 6-4 to the over. Boston's won 4 straight games. They're 4-1 last 5 games. And they've covered 4 straight games. They've covered 4 in a row on this 4-game winning streak. And are 3-2 to the over. So both teams are playing to the over. And the public's got the under in this game. This is interesting. Let me see the Knicks. I think the Knicks. I'm gonna take. Let me look at this. Let me look at the line one more time. Take one good look at this. 8.5, 8.5, 8. It's dropped down to 8. That's really not a lot of movement in this game. I'm gonna take the Knicks. I think the Knicks bounce back. I think the Knicks cover this 8.5. I mean, the Knicks were embarrassed against Cleveland on Friday, or the last meeting. The last game they were embarrassed badly. I think a lot of people's on Boston. Public's on Boston, but I'm gonna disagree with the public here. I'm gonna take the Knicks. I'm gonna take the Knicks plus the plus 8.5. I'm gonna take the Knicks. I mean, after getting embarrassed like that, I mean, I believe the Knicks are gonna come out and play with some pride and dignity this afternoon in Boston. I know they haven't been covering the first two games. They haven't really covered the first two games, but Boston blew them out. But I think New York, I think the Knicks stay within the 8 points. They stay and cover the plus 8. I like the Knicks plus 8. Or plus 8.5. I'll take the Knicks. I like the Knicks here. I think the Knicks keep this thing, you keep it within range, within striking distance. I think I'll take the Knicks. Yeah, I like New York here. I don't have anything on the total. I'm going to pass on the total. Yeah, I'm going to pass on that. I'm going to take the Knicks here. Knicks plus the 8. Yeah, I'm going to take the Knicks. I like New York in this spot. Yeah, because they didn't, like I said, they didn't look too good against Cleveland. Looked pretty bad. I think they put forth an effort, like I said, and they covered the plus 8. I'm going to take the Knicks plus 8 here. Yeah, I take the Knicks. All right, so the next game we're going to look at here, we're going to look at Dallas at Golden State. So that's probably the second game of the doubleheader, probably on ESPN or ABC. Dallas Golden State. This one is a 3:40 start. This one opened up 8.5. Golden State. Total 232.5. So now this has gone all the way to, it's come down now. 229. Let me see. Yeah, 229. It's come down to 229 at least. And it's down to 8. So look into this one further. Golden State is getting all the money, of course. So it's still 8 across the board. 228, 229. All right, well, so we'll look into this further. We're going to check the injury report for this game. And we will circle back and do the player props after. Like I said, I'm going to select a few games, and we're going to do the player prop after for this games. Let's see. So Dallas. Look at the injury report for these teams. All right. So PJ Washington, questionable to play Sunday at Golden State. Excuse me. So he's 50-50. That's basically his situation. Daniel Gafford out indefinitely. Dwight Powell out indefinitely. As you can see, Anthony Davis still out. What else is new? Khalid Martin growing out. Derek Lively out. Golden State. See the Warriors situation here with the injuries. Jonathan Kuminga is the only one that's out of the lineup. He has an ankle issue. I'll show you here in a minute. Yeah, he's out indefinitely with an ankle issue. So we'll look into this game further. Look at that's yesterday's games. This is today's. So they already have played 3 times. This is the 4th and final meeting. Golden State, Dallas. So the first meeting, November 12th. That's in Golden State. Warriors 2.5-point favorite. The Warriors covered and won by 3, 121-17. It went over 234.5. Second meeting in Golden State, December 15th. Dallas, a 1-point favorite. Dallas won 143-133. It went over 228.5. Third meeting in Dallas, February 12th. That was about 2 weeks ago or so. Dallas was a 7.5-point favorite. I'm sorry, Golden State was a 7.5-point favorite. Dallas covered the 7.5 and won 117-107. It was under the total 235.5. This game here has gone down to 228. Dallas last 10 games, 6-4 last 10, 6-2 against the spread, 6-4 to the over. That's Dallas. Dallas is 4-1 last 5 games. So they've won 3 straight, 4-1 last 5. And this is all without Anthony Davis, believe it or not. 4-1 last 5. And 2-3 to the under. So Dallas playing some defense without AD. That's interesting. Golden State, 6-4 last 10. 6-4 against the spread, 7-3 to the over. So the Warriors at home. Warriors have won 2 straight games. They're coming off, they're back from a 7-game road trip, a long road trip. Yep, a 7-game road trip. They went 4-3 on the road trip. Last 5, 4-1 last 5 games. 3-2 to the over, Golden State. So the 3 meetings they went 2-1 to the over. Dallas is winning this series too. They're winning the series. My take on, let me look here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take Dallas here. I like Dallas in the points. I gotta take Dallas. I don't trust. Dallas is playing very well right now. They're playing good. I know they're doing it at home. They're playing well at home, but they're covering on the road too. They're covering pretty well on the road this year. I'm gonna take Dallas in the point. I like Dallas in the 8.5. I like Dallas here. I think Dallas covers against the Warriors. I like Dallas here. Golden State, like I said, and this is my thing too. I like to fade teams coming off a long road trip. This is their first game back in over 3 weeks or 2 weeks or so. And I like to fade teams coming off a long road trip, and this is a perfect fade spot for Golden State. Perfect fade spot, and Dallas is catching them at the right time off a road trip. So I definitely like Dallas here, plus the 8.5. I gotta take the Mavericks here, plus 8.5. Total, I lean to the under. I think since that trade, I think since Dallas did that trade, and even with AD not in the lineup, I find that Dallas, they seem to be a bit more of a defensive team. They're playing more defense, in my opinion. Since that trade, they're playing a little bit more. They're 2-2 or 1-2 to the under. So to me, like I said, they're playing. It feels like they're playing some sort of defense, and I believe in this game, this is gonna apply. So I like the under 228.5. All right, I'm gonna call it a lean. I'll call it a lean. Call it a lean, but I like Dallas more, plus the 8.5. I like the Mavericks here. Yeah, Dallas is gonna be my play for this game. Like I said, I will get to the. I am gonna get to the prop play. I will get to that. Next game is gonna be for this one. Clippers, Indiana. This is 3.5 Indiana. They're favored at home, 231.5. Right now the line is at 4, but it's dropped to 230. This line has dropped a little bit. Yeah, it's dropped to 230. That's at 4. We'll check it. Let me check and see here. And we'll check the injury report afterwards. Clippers getting some public money. So far it's like over money so far. But it's dropped. I don't understand how it could be over. No, let me look further into this. And then after that, we're going to check the injury report for this game. Yeah, so let's check the injury report here. Indiana Clippers. Indiana Clippers. So we'll check the Indiana side we'll check the Indiana side first. Well, only 2 guys listed. Miles Turner out indefinitely with a concussion. Isaiah Jackson, Achilles out indefinitely. Clippers. Look at the LA Clippers. Kawhi Leonard, foot, questionable. Norm Powell's questionable with a knee. I'll show you that in a minute. It's popping up. So you see they're questionable. Kawhi Leonard to play Sunday. I believe he's gonna play. I'm gonna assume that he's gonna play. Norm Powell questionable as well with the knee. Yeah, I believe Kawhi's gonna play. If he plays, this number comes back down to 3.5 if he plays. It's right now it's 4 because Kawhi's not playing. That's why it's at 4. Like I say, if he plays, it goes back to 3.5, in my opinion. I'm going to assume that he's going to play. I believe he's going to play. Now, for the game itself, let's see here. Clippers, Indiana. Head-to-head, they've played about 2 weeks ago in LA. Clippers were 5-point favorites. Indiana covered and won 119-112. It went over 230. That was the only meeting. This is the second and final meeting. Clippers overall 5-5 last 10. And they are 3-7 against the spread, 7-3 to the over. Clippers 3-2 last 5, 4-1 to the over. Clippers. Indiana 7-3 last 10, 4-6 against the spread, 7-3 to the over. Pacers have won 2 straight, 3-2 last 5, 4-1 to the over. Yeah, the only way I can look at this game, both teams are playing to the over. Their first meeting went over the total about 2 weeks ago. So the only way I can look, even though the line's coming down, even though the lines, not the line, excuse me, even though the total came down, I still like the over in this game. I like the over 230. Let's check again to make sure. Yeah, I'm sticking to the over. That's the Clippers. Yeah, I'm sticking to the over in this game. Gotta take the over. It's even at 231 now. 230 someplace but 231. Yeah, I gotta take the over here. So the next game here. We're gonna look at. Let's see. Phoenix at Toronto. So it's -1. Open up Phoenix. Total 228.5. That's Phoenix favored. Now right now Toronto's favored right now. So Toronto now is favored. They're 1.5 in some places, 1 in other places, and it's at. Uh, 227 right now. We're at 227. And Toronto is getting all the public money. The total here is still at 227, so it really hasn't moved. It's still the same. It hasn't really moved. All right, so we look into this game further. Look at the injury report here. That's for Phoenix. One moment. That's Cody Martin. Cody Martin is out with a hernia. So this one moment. And that's for Phoenix. Now the Toronto side for the Raptors. Jacob Poeltl is questionable with an injury. Brandon Ingram is out with an ankle injury. So we'll show you that in a minute. All right, so we'll look into this game further. That's Toronto and Phoenix. I think this is the first meeting of the season. Yeah, this is the first meeting of the season between these two teams. Phoenix 3-7 last 10. 3-7 against the spread. 6-4 to the over. They ended a 4-game losing streak. One at Chicago. Didn't cover. They're 1-4 last 5 games. And 1-4 to the under. Toronto, meanwhile, 3-7 last 10, 5-5 against the spread, 6-4 to the over. Toronto's lost 2 straight games at home, 1-4 last 5 games, and are 3-2 to the over. The last 4 games of this series have gone under the total, Phoenix and Toronto. So I'm gonna look at the under in this game. I like the under. Toronto's favorite actually 1.5. I'm going to take the under 227.5. I like the under here. I know Toronto's been playing some overs lately. I know that. They went to overtime against Miami. That's why I went over. But I'm going to take the under here. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the under. The last 4 meetings, like I said, have gone under. And I think Phoenix, they bring that defense. They brought that defense on the road. The last 2 games on the road, they were playing some good defense against San Antonio and Chicago. They played some good defense. That's why I stayed under. So I noticed that here with Phoenix. So I think they bring that. I know they're a dog against Toronto. But I'm actually gonna bet the under 227. I think, let me just double check the total here. I think it said 227. Yeah, 227. It's 227. I'm going to take the under. And I'm going to take Phoenix in the points. I'm going to take Phoenix. I'm going to take the Phoenix Suns here. Phoenix plus 1.5. I'm going to grab them on the points. Next game I'm going to look at here, it's going to be Detroit and Atlanta. Detroit to Atlanta. Detroit, Atlanta. This one is at, let me see here. Just give me a moment. Yeah, this one here is at -4, total 240.5. It's come down to, looks like it's 3. Let's see. It's come all the way down to 3. 240's all the way down to 237 too. It's dropped a little bit. So look at this one. We'll look at this game here. Um, it's dropping down 237, still at 3. Hasn't really moved much. We'll look at the injury report for both teams. Let's see. Injury report for Detroit. Let's see. Jaden Ivey's the only one that's out with a leg injury. He's out indefinitely. As y'all can see coming up. That's Jaden Ivey. For the Atlanta side, for the Atlanta Hawks. Larry Nance Jr. is out with a knee. Jalen Johnson also is out with a shoulder. So I'll show you that in a minute. See, both guys are out. So look into this one. I know they played a few times already, Detroit and Atlanta. So look into this game further. So they have played 3 times already. First time November 8th in Detroit. Detroit was a 2.5-point favorite. Atlanta covered. And Detroit won by a point, 122-121. It went over the total, 227.5. Second meeting in Atlanta, January 22nd. Atlanta was a 4-point favorite. Total was 233.5. Detroit covered. And Detroit won 114-104. It was under 233.5. Third game was February 3rd in Detroit. Detroit is a 4.5-point favorite. Atlanta covered and won 132-130. And was over 237. This is a fourth and final meeting. So it's Detroit overall 7-3 last 10 games, 7-3 against the spread, 5-4-1 to the over. Detroit has won 5 straight games. They've covered their last 3 games in a row, and they are 2-2-1 last 5 games. That's to the over-under. The over-under, 2-2-1 last 5 games to the over-under. And 5-0 to the over. That's Detroit. So they've won 5 straight games. Atlanta, meanwhile, for the Atlanta Hawks. 4-6 last 10, 8-2 against the spread, 5-5 over-under. Atlanta's lost 2 straight games. They're 3-2 last 5. And the Hawks are 1-4 to the under. So Detroit's 3.5-point favorites in Atlanta against the Hawks. 3.5 in Atlanta. Yeah, Detroit's been playing well. Like I said, they've been playing good. They've been covering on the road too. Pistons playing very well. Detroit's winning the series against Atlanta too. They won. They lost the last one at home. I'm gonna have to in this game. I'm gonna have to take the. I'm gonna have to take the Pistons. I gotta take Detroit. I like Detroit here. Let's see the number. It's still 3. Let me see. Let me take a look at it. It's come down to 3. It's dropping. I'm seeing a 4. I saw a 4. I just saw a 4 at circa. Yeah, I just saw a 4. Yeah, I'm gonna take the. I'm gonna take the Pistons here. Actually, I'm gonna take them on the money line. I'm gonna do the money line here. I'm taking Detroit to win. A team as hot as Detroit, I don't want to go in front of the Pistons right now. Winners of 5 straight. I want to lay off of the. I don't want to get in front of that. I'm definitely gonna take Detroit. Detroit on the money line. It's 3.5 now. I got to take the Pistons here. It's Pistons or pass for me. Nothing. There's nothing else in this game. That's it. Pistons or pass. That's it for me. Pistons or pass. That's it. Yeah, that's the way I'm playing this game. Pistons or pass. There's no other way around it. That's it for this game. I don't see any other way around it. Yeah, Pistons or pass. And for the total, I have nothing on the total. The total, I have completely passed on the total. Nothing there. Nothing on that at all. Next game we're going to look at we'll look at Miami and Milwaukee. We'll take a look at that one. That's Miami and Milwaukee. This one is at 4.5, total 224. Milwaukee favored. Right now it's gone to 5.5. We're seeing 5.5s come up. Yeah, and it's 222 right now. Milwaukee getting all the love and support. They're the public darlings right now. 4.5, 5. And the public, nothing on the total yet. So we look at the injury report here. Miami and Milwaukee. We'll take a look at it. Starting with the Miami side for the Heat. Kevin Love out for personal reasons. Drew Smith, Achilles out for the season. So you see it there, Kevin Love out. And for the Milwaukee side, Pat Connaughton is out. He has a calf injury. That's going to come up in a minute. Damian Lillard, hamstring. Let's get the report on him. He is available to play Sunday, so he's going to be playing today. Pat Connaughton out. Taurean Prince, ankle, questionable to play Sunday, 50-50. Bobby Portis suspended. So look into this game. That's Miami-Milwaukee. I know they played already. Yeah, they've played 2 times already. First game in Miami. Bucks were 5.5 point. Miami was a 5.5 point favorites. Milwaukee covered and won 106-103. Under 222. Second game, January 23rd. That was a month ago in Milwaukee. Milwaukee 5.5 point favorites. Milwaukee covered and won 125-96. It went under 224.5. Third game in Milwaukee again. Miami 4-6 last 10, 3-6 and 1 against the spread, 5-5 to the over/under. Miami ended a 4-game losing streak. They won in Toronto. They're 1-4 last 5 games, 2-3 to the under. Milwaukee 5-5 last 10, 3-7 against the spread, 4-6 to the under. Milwaukee's won 3 straight games. And now they are 2-3 to the under as well. So both teams are playing to the form of the under. The last 3 meetings between these teams went to the under. So the only way to play this game, in my opinion, I have to play the under. Under 222. I like the under 222. I got to play the under here. And I'm going to take, for the side, let's look here. Let me see if I agree with the public. I know the public's on Milwaukee. Let's see. Yeah, I agree with the public. I'm going to take, I like Milwaukee here. You can actually get Milwaukee at 5. It's at 5 right now. I take Milwaukee at 5, -5, 4.5, 5. I would take Milwaukee. Without a doubt, I take the Bucks here. I gotta take Milwaukee. Milwaukee in the points. They're starting to pick up steam. They're 4-1 their last 5 games. Won 3 straight games. I gotta take the Bucks here. I think the Bucks cover. They win. They cover the 5 points or 4.5. I take Milwaukee. And personally, I like the under in this game. Like I said, the last 4 meetings have gone under. Both teams playing to the under. The under makes a lot of sense. So I like the under, and I agree with the public. Milwaukee's the play. Next game we're going to look at here. San Antonio, New Orleans, we're going to pass. Some of these games we're going to skip. Yeah, we're going to skip that one for sure. Memphis, Cleveland, we're going to play this one. Cleveland, and we already skipped the Washington, Orlando game. We're not touching that. Have no comments on those games. Memphis, Cleveland, 6.5. Cleveland favored over 247.5 the total. Right now we're looking at we're down to 6. I guess it's down to 6, 5.5, 6. 249. It's got up to 249. I saw 250. 240. It's mainly 249 right now. I just saw one book had 250. So 249.5, 6. We'll say that. Cleveland -6. Cleveland getting all the money, all the love. Public all over the Cavaliers. The total is 249 right now. So we'll look into this further. We'll get the injury report for Cleveland first on the Cavaliers side. Cleveland, let's see. Darius Garland, questionable. Jared Allen, questionable. Let's look here further. Let's look into this further. Yep, so Darius Garland, questionable to play Sunday at Memphis, 50-50. Jared Allen, the hand is 50-50, questionable as well. On the Memphis side for the Grizzlies, Vince Williams Jr., knee issue, is questionable to play Sunday. So look into this game further. That's Cleveland and Memphis. We'll look into this one. Absolutely, yeah. Cleveland, Memphis. This is the first meeting between these two teams of the season. So Memphis, overall 6-4 last 10, 4-6 against the spread, 5-5 over under. So Memphis, this is the final game of a 5-game road trip. They're 2-2 on the road trip. They are 2-3 last 5 games, 1-4 to the under. Cleveland, 9-1 last 10, 7-3 against the spread, 7-3 to the over. Cleveland's won 6 straight games. They've won 6 straight, and they've covered 4 out of the last 6 games. So they're playing pretty well. Yeah, they're playing well. And 4-1 to the over. Cleveland 5.5. Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, the only way for me to play this is Cleveland. I have to take the Cavaliers. I agree with the public. I got to take Cleveland. Cleveland, like I said, they have covered as a favorite 3 straight games. So I got to take the Cavaliers. I got to take Cleveland. Got to take the Cavaliers. Yep, got to take Cleveland here. As for the total, I don't have a play on the total. That's good. I'm gonna pass on that one. No play on the total whatsoever. Just like Cleveland on the points. It's 5. Let's make sure it's 5. Some books have 5, 5.5. It's 5.5, mainly 6. Yeah, I gotta take Cleveland here. If you can get at 5.5, take the 5.5. 6, take the 6. That's the last team you want to get in front of when they're on a winning when they're on a winning streak and they're covering they've covered 3 straight games as a favorite. I don't want to get in front of that. I will pass. The last game we're going to discuss here. We're going to discuss Cleveland. I'm sorry, Minnesota. Excuse me, Minnesota at home versus OKC. OKC -7, total 225.5. Right now it's gone all the way up to 9.5, and it's leapfrogged to 229. That's a big jump. Let's see here. Look at this further. OKC getting out of the public support, 9.5. Totals come down 228. So let's look at the injury report here for this game. Let's look at the injury report. Like I said, after this, we're gonna give you the best player props for the games. We'll do that after this. For Oklahoma City. Oh, they have a clean injury report. No injuries on that side. As for the Minnesota Timberwolves, Rudy Gobert ruled out with back issues. Julius Randle, of course, out indefinitely. Dante DiVincenzo is out. He has a toe issue. So you can see that there. These guys are out. So for the game itself, OKC, Minnesota. So they played twice already. The January 29th one doesn't count for this year. So this season they played twice. First meeting on the OKC. OKC was a 6.5 point favorite. They won 113-105. They went over the total, 217. Second game was this month, February 13th, about 2 weeks ago, in Minnesota. OKC was a 9.5 point favorite. Minnesota covered it and won 116-101. It was under the total, 229. So this is the third meeting now. OKC 8-2 last 10 games overall, 6-3-1 against the spread, 6-4 to the over. OKC 4-1 last 5 games, and are 2-3 to the under. Minnesota 5-5 last 10 games, 5-5 against the spread, 6-4 to the over. Minnesota's 2-3 last 5 games, and are on the total side they are 2-3 to the under. That's Minnesota. For both teams playing to the under the last 5 games. And I noticed the total last game 2 weeks ago was 229. Now it's gone to 228. So all that plus both teams currently playing to the form of under the total. I gotta take under 228.5 OKC Minnesota. It's so everything correlates to the under in my opinion. So I like the under in this one. 228.5. Let me get the proper number here. Let me just verify it. 220. Actually, man, it's gone to 230. We jumped to 230. I still like the under. I saw 230, 229. I still like the under. I'm gonna take the under. I still like the under. Yeah, I like the under in this game. I definitely have to play the under. No doubt about it. I'm playing the under in this game. So that's I don't have a play on the side. The side I don't have a play. I'm just gonna play the under in this game. Under the 229 or 230. I like the under. Now for the player props, I know that we had discussed doing the player props for some of these games. So we're gonna go over quickly some of the top player props for each game, the games that we mentioned today. Some common player props we recommend that you can use for for the games today. Since they came up pretty early, normally they don't come up at this time, but they came up today, so we're gonna take advantage of the props. Um, let's refresh the screen, and we'll do some of the player props here. So start off with the Knicks in Boston. You the best player prop for the games. Let's see. Look at Jalen Brunson. We're gonna look at each player to see where they're being consistent, where they're more consistent. So anything in green, that means they've gone over the number. Anything highlighted in green, they've gone over the number. So we're gonna look for some consistency. I'm gonna take. I like here. I like Jalen Brunson points and rebounds. I like the points and rebounds for Jalen Brown. The clearing number is 29 and a half. He's cleared this number in 3 of the last 5 games, including last game he had 30. So I expect him to have a big one today. I like points and rebounds. Jalen Brown over 29 and a half. That's a good one. Jason Tatum. I like him over 26 and a half points. The last game, he had 15 points. He didn't play that well. He's hit this number 3 of the last 5 games. Like I said, last game he had 15. I expect a bounce back game from him. So I like him here over 26 and a half points, Jason Tatum. Karl Anthony Towns. I like him here. I like him 1.5 3-pointers. Karl Anthony Towns. He's hit this number 4 of the last 5 games. The last game he only had 1 3-pointer. So I expect him to get over 1.5 here easily. I like him in this spot. That's Karl Anthony Towns. Jalen Brown. Let's see if I see anything here for him. Nothing of consistency for Jalen Brown, so we're not going to mention him for props. And nothing there as well for Porzingis. I don't see anything here. Nothing of consistency. That's it for this game. That's it for the Boston New York game. Those are the main props, the top props that you can take advantage of for this game. Next game we're going to look at for props. Look at Dallas Golden State. Look at the Warriors. Kyrie, let's see. We'll go with Kyrie Irving over 2.5 3-pointers. He's hit this number in 2 of his last 5 games. The last game he had 5 3-pointers in the last game. So he's playing a bigger role since Luka has been traded. He's playing a bigger role, getting the rock more. So I expect him to clear this number once again this afternoon against Golden State. I mean, the game before last, he had 7 3-pointers. So like I said, I expect more of this from Kyrie Irving over 2.5 threes. I like this look. This is a good one for him. That's where he's more consistent at for me, in my opinion. We're going to look at Steph Curry on the Warriors. Hmm. Let's see. Over 4.5 3-pointers. I like that one for Steph Curry. He's cleared this number in 3 of the last 5 games, as you can see highlighted in green. The last game he had 4 3-pointers. I expect him to clear this number over 4.5 threes. I like that for Steph Curry. Jimmy Butler. Hmm. I'm going to go with Jimmy Butler's. I'm going to. I'm going to lean to his rebounds. Jimmy Butler on the boards. The clearing number is 6.5. He's cleared this number 3 of the last 5 games. Last game he had 3 rebounds. The games before that he had 8 rebounds, 9 rebounds. So I expect him to bounce back and clear this number over 6.5 rebounds. Jimmy Butler. I like that one. Klay Thompson. Over 2.5 3-pointers. Klay Thompson. He's cleared this number in 3 of the last 5 games. I like him here. He had 4 last game. I expect more of the same today. Over 2.5 3-pointers. Klay Thompson. I like that one. Max Christie. Yeah, I like Max Christie here. Over 12.5 points. He's cleared this number in the last 5 games in a row. He's hit 16 last game, so I expect him to clear this number here. Max Christie over 12.5 points. I like that one here. That one stands out like a sore thumb. Nothing for Draymond Green. Yeah, I don't see anything here. Let me see something. Hold on. Yeah, nothing in my. If you want, you can lean towards Draymond Green points, rebounds, and assists. He had the clearing number is 22.5. He's cleared this number in the last 3 games. Last game he had 23. So I would go with this one here. I would take this one here. Yeah, when I think about it now, I would take this over 22.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I would take that. I'd bet that one for Draymond Green. That's a good one. For the next game, Clippers, Indiana. I don't think I see much here. Let's see. A lot of question marks in this game. It looks like Kawhi is going to play because he's out there. He's on the prop list for props, so he looks like he's going to play. Kawhi, let me see if I see anything for Kawhi. Okay, here's a good one for Kawhi Leonard. Over 2.5 assists. I would take the over. He's cleared this number in 4 straight games. I would take over 2.5 assists. I like that one. That's actually a good one for Kawhi Leonard. Siakam. I like Siakam here over 20.5 points. He's cleared this number 3 of the last 5 games. The last 2 games he's been under 20. He's gone under 20 points. I expect a bounce back over 20.5 points. Pascal Siakam. I like that one a lot. That's a good one. Yeah, I like that one. Tyrese Halliburton. I like the assists over 8.5. He's cleared this number in 2 of the last 5 games. Last game he had 9 assists. So I like this one over 8.5 assists. Tyrese Halliburton. Let's see here. That's it for this game. Nothing else here. There's nothing much on that game at all that's appealing to me. Detroit, Atlanta. Let's look at that one. Player props. Cade Cunningham. Nothing of consistency for Cade Cunningham. Nothing of consistency that I see. I don't see nothing there for Cade. Trae Young. I like Trae Young here. I would take over 3.5 3-pointers. He's cleared this number in 3 of the last 5 games. The last 2 games he's gotten 4 3-pointers. So I like him here in this spot. That's probably the best prop here for Trae Young. Over 3.5 3-pointers. Dyson Daniels. Dyson Daniels, I would take him. Rebounds. Over 5.5 rebounds for Dyson Daniels. He's cleared this number in 4 of the last 5 games. Last game he had 9 rebounds. So I like him here over 5.5 rebounds, Dyson Daniels. Azure Thompson. Dyson Daniels, points and rebounds over. I'm sorry, not Dyson Daniels. Excuse me, Azure Thompson. Azure Thompson. Points and rebounds over 17.5 points. I like that one. He's gone over this number 4 of the last 5 games. Last game he had 15, so I expect him to bounce back to clear this number over 17.5 points and rebounds for Azure Thompson. I don't see any. Let me see if Tobias Harris, anybody else. Okay, here's a good one for Tobias Harris. Over 15.5 points. He's cleared this number in all 5 games, 5 straight games, 22 last game. So I like him over 15.5, Tobias Harris. I like that one a lot. Jalen Duren. I like this one here. This is solid odds here. Points and assists over 16.5 points and assists. He's cleared this number 4 of the last 5 games. Last game he had 26. I like him here. Points and assists. Jalen Duren for the Detroit Pistons. I like that one here. Any other props? I don't really see nothing else that sticks out. Let me just see here. I'm looking at Phoenix and Toronto. Let's see. RJ Barrett's in the lineup. He missed the last few games. Well, no, 2 straight. I like RJ Barrett here. Points and assists, over 26.5 points and assists. He's cleared this number in the last 2 games. So I like him. I like RJ Barrett over 26.5 points and assists. I like that one. Let's see here. That's it. I don't see anything else here. This is Kevin Durant. Let me see. I'm still going to see if anything that's consistent for Durant. I would go with We'll see his points and rebounds. He had 39. That was yesterday against Chicago. Points and rebounds. He's cleared this. The clearing number is 31.5. He's cleared this number three of the last 5 games. 39 last game. I would go with this one here. Points and rebounds. Kevin Durant 31 over 31.5. I like that one here. Scotty Barnes. I don't see anything of consistency there. Quigley, nothing. You can do rebounds. Rebounds for Quigley, over 3.5 rebounds. He's cleared this number in 3 of the last 5 games. Last game he had 7 rebounds. Yeah, I would take that. I would go with that. Grady Dick, let's see. I would take Grady Dick over 1.5 3-pointers. He's cleared this number 3 of the last 5 games. Last game he had 2. So I expect him to clear this number here, over 1.5 threes. Jacob Podol. Yeah, nothing here. And that's it. That's it for the props, and that's morning edition. My name is Abby. Thank you very much for joining me. We did everything all in one. We got the player props in, and we got the sides and the totals for the games today, which is pretty rare. Like I said, the props come out later on in the day, but I guess it's the weekend, and they came out a bit earlier on the weekend with some of the earlier games that are going to take place this afternoon, starting at 1 p.m. with the Knicks in Boston. So again, thank you very much for joining me. Whether you fit or follow these picks, it's up to you. Basically, I just pick and choose the games how I see it and how I like it. I still want you to cash your tickets, whatever you pick or choose, what games you pick or choose. I hope you cash your tickets. Hit the like button, subscribe button for more NBA picks and plays, for over-unders, point spread plays, player prop plays. Hit that like button and subscribe button. Again, stay true to yourself, stay humble, believe in yourself. Take care, peace, and we'll see you tomorrow.